Hello, everybody. It's me, Sean Bischoff, General Manager of Triumph, and you are now being entertained by the delectable episode number 5 of Together. This is our podcast where I tell really bad jokes, and you guys continue to tune in for some reason. We have a pretty cool guest today. But before I get into that, I'm going to give you the good old bait and switch as always. It is the holiday season. You guys should head over to store.triumphesports.com. It's also the end of the year, so we have a lot of stuff that's going to be gone in a month. So if you want to support the show, if you want to support the teams, go on over there, maybe pick up a jersey, maybe pick up a Challengers Champs shirt from 2020 because we know that those are really limited now. Might want to pick one up before they're gone. Also, we have really cool news coming up soon with a new jersey sponsor, a new jersey partner that will probably roll out in December. So I would recommend getting a jersey because they might not be around for a while. However, if you're like me and you don't like to spend money, that's cool. Totally understand. Another easy way to support us, go on over to iTunes podcast and give us a 5-star review. It's super easy to do, takes half a second. And with every 5-star review, I gain more muscles and more height. So I appreciate it. With that being said, let's get into the show. My guest today, very cool guy. His name is Kevin Pichardo. I hope I said that right. He is the owner and CEO of Team WaR. Good, I said it right. He's the owner and CEO of Team WaR. I guess most recognized for their recent success in Call of Duty. I'm really excited to sit down and talk COD with him today. So without further ado, Kevin, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, bro? Doing good, man. Doing good. Just had Thanksgiving and ate a lot of food. Yeah. But no, man, I'm super pumped. The COD season is around the corner. Something that might come to shock is we haven't finalized our team for next year yet. It's in it's getting close to getting to that point, but it's been a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we've been doing, but we're excited nonetheless. I know wherever we end up, it's gonna be an awesome ride, and hope to continue the same train that we had going from 2020 for all the championships and stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, this Challenger season starts real soon. I think our first in NA anyway. The first Challengers Cup is, I believe in EU, it's the same. It's next weekend, so it's coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah, December. Yeah. It's actually exciting to see the new format that they're putting into the Challengers. I felt like last year going from the CWL format to the new year franchise. I think it was a little messy a little bit, but I think the clear picture has been shown to them that they need to add a little more coverage to the Challenger side. For example, not all the tournaments were getting streamed in the beginning, and with the cups getting implemented, that started changing, and we started seeing more success that way on a brand level. So I'm excited about the elite tournaments they're going to be having and stuff like that, and even the scouting stuff. I think that's a good idea. As a network for the players. It doesn't necessarily benefit us directly, but indirectly it does, because it adds more eyes to the players, which brings on to your team. So
of course,
super excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I think you've been around. So Team WaR's been around for a few years now. I believe you guys have been around a little over 3 years, right?
3 years. So this hoodie right here that's not released yet, so you guys are going to get a sneak peek.
Oh, nice.
It's dropping soon, but this is our 3-year anniversary hoodie. And basically we have a Roman theme for Team WaR, and so the 3 pillars is for the 3 years. So super excited to drop that soon. Yeah, man, it's been crazy 3 years, man. It's gone by so fast, and we went from having a local West Coast team to the number 1 team in the world in 3 years, which to me it's a huge success. I remember in the beginning, bro, we would go to tournaments and we'd be like, our goal was to get top 64 at an open bracket. Top 64, that was our goal, and I was like, we'd be happy if that happened. And it took us a while to get there, but once we got the Robbie Beeman team with Super and Tish, everything changed. And then we picked up Envoy and Mock and Hollow and all those guys and Ricky, Atura, everything started changing and everything started getting better and better and better. And then we got the UK guys, and then they took us to another level. Like, bro, like, so like first year we almost made to champs. Our first inaugural year, we almost made to champs. We actually lost last map to Cammy and Defrag. Our team for that was Cade, Mock, Hollow, and who was our first? I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on the fourth, but it was a stacked roster. It was pretty good. Like I thought we were gonna win it, and then we ended up getting, we lose the last map, and that was just like that was a blow. Like you know what it feels like when you lose tournaments. Like, it's the worst. Like, it feels like terrible. And I remember I was like, damn. I was like, but we just got to bounce back. And I remember when I first talked to Josh, the captain of our UK team. I was like, bro, like, I just want to make it to champs. Like, I was like, there's still like 3 tournaments ahead. And I was like, I just want to make it to champs. He was like, bro, I've never missed a champs. And I was like, oh, shit. And then so we took the risk and, because we're an NA org and stuff. And you can imagine, flying guys over from the UK is more expensive and stuff. So we took the risk on them, but it all paid off. And the relationship that we built with those guys, it's paid dividends for us because they're just amazing guys outside of like just gaming. Those guys are like, they're like such good guys. They're funny as hell, man. They do shit on me a lot, but that's just like, I guess the UK way of showing love to you is by bantering and talking down on you and stuff. But no, man, it's been a wild 3 years, but it's crazy. It's gone so fast, and it's like, oh
yeah, it does go fast, man. I mean, 3 years, I would say in general, like you guys have accomplished a lot in 3 years. Like you guys in COD, there's people that have been in COD for longer than you that have never really have the accolades that you guys have, or have like the level of talent that's kind of walked through you guys' doors. So there's definitely something to be said with that,
Yeah.
And
but like, like I hear that and stuff, and I tell people though, I was like, I want to remind you, I've been there. I've been in the trenches. I've been where we lose all the time. Like I've seen it from we didn't win until 2020. Like we didn't win our first championship ever, and so it took time. And and there's close times. Like we got second in Miami for Black Ops 4. We lost in the second best of 5. So it's just like we've been there, and where you're super close and you just don't get it. But like, there's no better feeling. I'm sure you could attest to that. There's no better feeling when you win your first championship. I'll never forget Paris.
Yeah.
That feeling of like, it's just like, bro, it was just like, I don't know what it was like for you, but like, it was just like a sense of relief, I guess. Is the best way to put it.
Huge
like
relief.
it's just like I could finally breathe. I was like, fuck, we finally got it out of the way. Like that one, and it felt so special. So I'll never forget that moment. What was your guys' first win?
So Triumph COD last season was obviously our first year, and so I am not naive.
Like you guys, man, you guys won in your first year.
But it's different, Like we definitely won, and the guys that we have on our team are legends, and and I love them to death, but it's definitely a lot different. Like having your first year in COD being completely basically online because of COVID has changed. I think it puts a bit of an asterisk next to our experience, not necessarily the achievement itself, but our experience for sure, because for almost the entire year, other than one event that we played in Minnesota, it was like the first event before lands were, shut down.
Right.
Other than that event, which I think we placed literally a top 16, like we didn't play very well that event. We played everything online. So it's a little bit different. It's like we didn't get to go get up on stage and win a championship. So
there is an asterisk to it, but like I still feel like in the end, like, was it competitive? Hell yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the only playing field we have.
There's people like Singularity. When we played against them, they were all in their headquarters, all 4 of them. So we played against like big hosts and stuff. So like, nobody was trying to lose that, and just even if it was online, I don't care. Like these guys gave it their all, so I wouldn't discount like your championships. They're worthy. You guys made it happen. You guys showed up when it mattered, and you guys came out big. So like, big congrats to you guys for that. That's sick to do that in your first year. I am lucky that we did win our first championship technically on LAN in Paris. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there. I went to London where we got 4th. But yeah, man. Shout out to UK fans, man. They're fucking awesome. If I could convince you guys to move to UK eventually, bro, sick.
UK COD is strong, man.
Yeah, man. They're good, bro.
I mean, look, it's funny you bring up the Singularity thing because our team had to play Singularity last year as well when they were in NA before they came back to EU. Like, they traveled, right. They were living in NA for a couple months. Yeah, they were like Penta Texas host. Like it's like good luck, and we beat them in a couple events, and it was always like us versus them in NA. But again, it was online, so then they went over to EU and got pounded by you guys. So. I guess they couldn't run, wherever they went. I'll respect those guys, of course.
Yo, buy their merch, man. He just said that. Yo, buy his merch. Yo, let me see that hoodie, though. Hold on.
Oh, it's simple, dude.
Why, dude? I love simple. Dude. Simple is key, bro. Like, that's... I didn't even know that. Like looking at that, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's an esports org. I love that.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's how a lot of stuff is, actually.
Because it's just like easy to wear apparel, like, bro, like it's just biggest advice I could give to like esports companies is just really follow what 100 Thieves and the likes of like FaZe are doing with their apparel. Because it's just like, man, they've bottled it down. Like, it's just like simple is better, man. It's just like, it looks clean. It doesn't have like, like too much going on. And it just looks fresh. You can make so many good fits out of it. That's the thing. Like if you can make a lot of fits, like that sweater you're wearing, I'd probably wear like some like blue jeans, like ripped up with like, I don't know.
Oh man, dude, I'm not a fashion guy, dude.
I'm a super fashion guy.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or what, but
dude, how old are you?
That's not my domain. I'm only 28, man. I'm just trolling.
28? Okay, fuck you. Yes, I'm 27. I'm like right there.
All I know is hardcore gaming. That's all I know. I don't know. I let's just say I have people on our team that know fashion, and it's not me. Let's just say that. Okay.
Hey man, as long as you're wearing it and repping it, that's all that matters. Does it feel comfortable? I'm sure it does. It looks comfy.
It is. It's a nice.
So there you go. There we go.
And that's what store.triumphesports.com, dude.
Dude, you know what I wear during my gaming sessions? That's like key, really key. UGG slippers. I tell you, bro.
Really, honestly.
Yeah, they're fire, bro. I don't know if you have. Bro, I've been having these pairs for a long time too, actually for like 4 or 5 years already. Still in good condition because I only wear them when I game. Like it's just like you slip them on. Oh my god, bro, you're dropping 60s on Nuketown, bro. Dude, I am nasty at Cold War, bro. I don't know. Have you been grinding?
No, I don't get to play too much. I'm pretty busy. We have a lot of teams. We have multiple teams that are competing still, so I'm too busy. I've been playing zombies. Games.
That's why we're here. You're playing zombies?
Yeah, I've been playing zombies.
Okay. I'll play zombies. I'm playing zombies really because the camos on like the zombie camos are pretty sick.
I think they're cool. That's why I'm playing too.
I'm really excited. Like this year, finally, like Modern Warfare. No offense to the guys over there, but like I was not a fan of their cosmetics that year. It was too bleh. Like and so it's just like a brown camo like with nothing on it. It's just like, all right, sick. This is what I got. Like no, like I want colorful stuff. And so sometimes you got to push the boundaries because like in Cold War they didn't have freaking like diamond camos, but it's a video game in the end, so it's just like I want to like look cool while I play, like
get that paid off. Well, in Treyarch we trust, brother.
Treyarch is awesome.
Yes sir. Speaking of Treyarch, so I want to ask you, man, a little bit about your outlook for the year moving into Cold War now that the game's been out for a month or so, and we're all gearing up to get ready for challenges. Like, what's the outlook, do you think, for the competitive scene this year?
For Team War or for overall?
Overall, like, do you think we're going to have a better year this year? I know, obviously, we already know that at the very least, the first half of the competitive season will be online for our teams, for example. And, do you think that things are going to go better? Do you think that last season's experience is going to lead into this year? Better?
100%. I think if good companies and good teams behind the backing of the challenger support, which I've been developing relationships with those people, like behind the scenes production, they got a good group of people working on it, and they're really open to feedback. So trust me, I was in the DMs like all year for stuff, and like one of the things is like even for the finals is like I push for our logos to be displayed on the scoreboard, because at the cups it just had our team names and like the standard logos, whatever. I was like, we gotta have our team branding like on there. Like it's such a big deal, and it just resonates with the fans easier because we're like, oh yeah, that's Team War. Oh yeah, that's Triumph, because I know their logo. So it's just like it's not just a text. And so like they did that and they made it work, and like boom, like, you know, that's a big win for us. So I'm hoping going on to this new year that's just a standard now. Because it just looks nicer and more appealing to the eye. So again, they've been really open. I've, you know, even talked to like the admins who are like, you know, the referees and stuff like that, like building relationship. They're good people. We had our mix-ups, you know, like at Minnesota and stuff, where we weren't so happy with them of how things turned out for us. But you know, we've moved past that and been building a relationship with them, and it's been doing well. And I really believe in them. I really believe in the end, I believe in the esport. I believe COD is just a great esport because their storylines, and that's what people in the end want. They want entertainment. They're here to watch, to entertain themselves, to either watch somebody that's much better than them, or to like follow the storylines. Is there drama going on? Like, yeah, there is. So, you know, there's players that hate each other, and people want to see that. So I think with the backing of Treyarch as well, as a supporter of esports for the longest, since Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 days, like, you know, I think we're in for a really, really good year for Cold War. I'm excited. We got really good orgs backing up some good teams. The teams are even gotten more competitive because it's 4v4.
Yeah.
So I don't see, like, you know, even if we got like, you know, Dave and the boys back, like I don't see us winning as much as we did last year, because it's just way more competition. It's going to be so hard. But, you know, do I think those are the boys that are going to end up winning the championship? In my opinion, hell yeah. And I hope we could lock them in and run it back. It's like, that's my goal for Team WaR. It's just, like I said, in, you know, beginning of last year, is just my goal is to win a championship this year. I don't care about anything else except winning a championship, and that's what we did. It's funny, if now it's like it's kind of weird, but like I kind of want to tell you like what kind of inspired that mindset is my dad. So it is, I don't know if you're like familiar with baseball and stuff, but I live in LA, so I was going to a Dodger game with my dad. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm also a fan of the Angels, which I'm gonna get roasted for. I'm fan of both LA teams, so whatever. Anyways, I don't want to go into that. But in the last years, Angel stadiums has been pretty empty. Not many fans showing up, and the Dodgers has been selling out.
Right.
And so I kind of like was walking to the stadium with my dad, and I was like, Dad, like why is this so much like that? You know, like why is there such big difference between the two? Why is that? You know, he was like, well, who's winning? Who's going to the World Series? Who's contenders? And I said the Dodgers, of course. Dodgers, and then he was like, that's why. Because there's so much people can take as a fan of supporting a team that just keeps losing and losing and losing and losing. And it's much easier to root for a team that's going to contend for a championship, right? And so that was a moment I had before the season started that I was like, shit, like I really like, you know, and I literally talked to my co-owner. I had this talk with him, and I was like, I only want one team. And that's Steve-O and Dave's team, and that's it. And I didn't talk to any other team at all. And I put all my money and all my bags in one team, and like hoping that they, you know, saw us as the best deal possible. And luckily it worked out. And look what happened.
Hey, you guys won, dude. I mean, a lot of things have to come together to win a championship, man. And I agree with you. And the story that you share about the Dodgers is really relevant, actually, in esports. I think a lot of people try to build brands around a team, or you know, build recognition with a team. But if you're not winning, if you're always kind of getting dumped on, and you never have even just a one-time success, it's really hard for fans to get behind you if they can't believe in you. You know. And
that takes time though, and like it's just like it's a weird situation, because it's just like, you know, like say like you're a new org, right? Like you gotta build a brand first. You gotta build a reputation. These players, I've seen so many orgs screw them over in the past that, you know, they're not gonna put their faith in you as a new org yet, because you don't have a reputation. So you got to start from the bottom. And like I said, like our goal in the beginning was top 64. So maybe that could be your goal too. All right, just get top 64, and then top 32, and then top 12, and just keep moving up the ranks, and you'll get there. But I think most importantly, while you are building that brand up, is you better be pushing out content like hard. And like if you want, like we just got our first sponsorship, right? And we have some exciting news regarding that partnership as well with Turtle Beach. But you know, like I just looked at our monthly like activations we did for them, where we like shouted them out, we thanked them, we did an ad, we did giveaway for them, we covered them on our esports. We did 31 pieces of content for 1 month of August across all our social media.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But you know, because of that, and because of us, like, you know, as the little dogs coming in, like, we're not Optic, we're not 100 Thieves. Like, I felt like we needed to do that. We you know, we under promise, over deliver is my like saying in life. Like, that's my biggest thing. And I think that's been contributed to a lot of success for WaR in terms of like player relationships and stuff, because I will promise you what we could do for you. I can't offer thousands of dollars of salary per player and stuff like other big orgs like Cloud9 and stuff, but I can offer you this, and we can work with this, and then, you know, like, and I'll treat you like family, and that's the biggest thing. So biggest advice to other orgs is doing that, under promise, over deliver, because I see it so many times where it's the opposite, and you promise these players a world, and then you know, one sponsorship drops, and then boom, like, what happens now? You know, so that's my advice. But
yeah, I know what you're saying. I think under promise and over deliver is a good mantra to live by. I would agree with you. I think, you know, one of the most important things when you're starting a small company or like a new organization, for instance, in our case in esports, but really this applies to like any industry, is like you need to, the ownership and the person that founds the company needs to be so involved every day that it becomes a family, like that you guys are closer. Like, you know, you might not have the resources. I guess this is, you know, this section of the podcast would be like tips for beginners or whatever. Like, let's give some advice. Like,
owners, maybe.
Yeah, I guess, because I do see like a lot of org owners or like a lot of small orgs pop up, as you've probably seen a million of them literally in COD. It's just like small orgs that are trying to build a brand. And, you know, people are always asking like, well, how did you become successful? It's like some teams are able to have success.
Bro, patience.
Yeah, patience, but also
so many orgs rush into things.
100%. And I'd build off what you were saying is like, you know, you need to be so involved with your teams that like, even if you don't have all the money in the world to give them, they believe in your vision. They believe in who you are as a leader. Right. You know, not just necessarily you, but also your team of people that like are founding and running the company. Like, if the players and the teams believe in you and they'll take like a pay cut or whatever, they'll take shitty circumstances to work with you to make something great in the future, then fans will follow that as well. And I think it all works out, but you have to be really passionate about your team and be around for them. Yeah. Like a family. Yeah. I agree.
You had to be in it for the right reasons. And that's what excites me most, is when I meet other people who have that same drive and passion. And you know, one of my focuses this year and the last year as well is just kind of networking and growing my network within the esports industry. I know I could do a lot more time into doing that, but that's why I like when you offered this opportunity, I was like, I said yes right away, because, you know, for me, it's like, you know, we help each other grow. You know, yeah, we are competitors in some ways, right? But to me, it's like, there's so much room and space for all of us to grow in this industry. We're a booming market. And yeah, like, you know, I throw jabs at Singularity and stuff, and we have our meme wars and like our little rivalry going, which is great for the storyline. But, you know, I respect the hell out of the guys behind there. I respect the players behind, you know, the scenes. You know, I saw what happened with Tane recently with that guy who made that terrible comment and terrible judgment. Like, that's not cool. It's not cool. Like, you know, Tane, I've met him briefly, and he's a good kid, like really good kid, and really great player too. So, you know, that was very uncalled for. I'm sorry that happened to him. But, you know, again, like it's, you know, for me, it's big on networking, you know, and making sure like we're helping each other in ways we can. And so I've been trying to put in that effort to, you know, talk to other org owners and build those relationships. I just had the owner of Thrive come down for a golf trip for a weekend and stuff. And like, I never met the guy.
Oh yeah, you're a golfer, dude. I forgot.
Yeah. COVID hobby, baby. I'm actually super addicted though. It's really bad. Do you golf?
No, I've golfed one time many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I just never did it again. I just don't enjoy it. That's all. I can respect it. I don't mind watching golf. Like I understand it. I think it's a great sport. I like all sports though. I don't know. I'm just always been that way.
What's your favorite sport?
Basketball for sure. basketball. 100%.
What's your favorite team?
I don't really have a favorite team, to be honest. I don't follow the NBA super heavily. I've been really captivated by LeBron James last few years. I mean, I think you kind of have to be when you're watching like the literal GOAT.
That's greatness, man.
And hit in the twilight, like the end of his career, like just when I don't know. It's been fascinating, but I wouldn't say I'm like a Lakers fan or anything.
Wait, Jordan or LeBron? Go.
Well, to be honest, man, that's a very complicated discussion. Like I thought about this a lot, man. As like a basketball fan, I think it's impossible to really put them against each other, man. I think they're two of the greats, like maybe the two greatest players of all time, but for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Chat, what do you
really
say?
Hard. yeah, I don't know.
In the comments.
If you guys have an opinion on this, strong opinion, go check it out. The podcast on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, whatever, go put a comment and let us know what you think. Because I mean, that's going to be a discussion for the ages, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I think LeBron, definitely top 3. I would put Kobe top 3 as well, personally, because
it's so complicated. Because it's so hard to match people up against each other in different eras.
Yeah, it is. It is 100%. I also, though, I saw the documentary about Michael Jordan, Last Dance. Honestly, I came into the Kobe era. So like I heard about like Michael, and everybody's like, like the shoes were popping and like everybody's talking about he's a GOAT and stuff. But like I didn't see it. So I was like, he wasn't a GOAT in my eyes. Like I was like, Kobe's a GOAT. And then LeBron came and like he's in question, But after watching that documentary, bro, like I've seen that documentary probably like 5 times. It's really, really well done. And the producers are doing a Stone Cold Steve Austin one next.
Is that true?
But yeah, I'm super pumped about. Talk about a GOAT in the WWE industry. But going back to my point, I don't know. After watching that documentary, bro, like I have to put Jordan at number 1. That guy
it's fair.
He was a killer, like a killer. Like he was the guy. He was the guy people feared. He didn't take losing, like the stuff he just did, like the food poisoning story to his dad's situation, and the fact that he willed through all of that and like just worked on his craft is just like beautiful, dude. Like I love seeing that. I love seeing stuff like that. Motivational videos is like what gets me, bro. It gets 100%. Me so
Michael Jordan's an inspiration for probably at this point hundreds of millions of people, like maybe billions of people. Like I mean, he's inspired everyone.
So how do we build our brands to be something like that?
Well, that's a good question. And I think that where this conversation is led and what I'm thinking of now, thinking about the difference between LeBron and Michael, for example, is like, what is greatness to you? You know what I mean? Like, how do you measure greatness? Because if we're using the example of Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, like, is it more important to be really great for 7 years, like really dominant for 7 years? 30 years ago, or is it more impressive and more great to be consistently dominant for 17 to 20 years now? Like, who knows? Like, I don't know. It's like, how do you measure greatness? Like, what do you value? So as an organization or as a team, like, do you value, for example, winning a championship every single year for like the next indefinite years, 5 years, 10 years? Or do you value developing every player that comes through your door and making them the best player on the planet? I don't know. I think depending on what you value, you could perceive greatness differently, don't you think?
Oh yeah, everybody could have their own definition. I think personally, for me, I think championships is what holds a lot of the piece of the pie. Like you said, it's only a piece though. I think there's a lot of factors that go into defining greatness. But I think for if you want to revert it to esports, I think there's a lot of things. And I know Hastro kind of made a whole, a big little roar in the community with his tweet about how he was kind of throwing jabs at 100 Thieves about being a hoodie esports company versus him focusing on championships, right? I think there's a fine line there, because I think what 100 Thieves are doing is brilliant. On the business side of things, I think apparel is such a big avenue for growth for esports organizations if they do it the right way, right? I think doing limited drops and stuff like that, it's really important. That's why we're doing it. And we haven't even dropped our next big drop until like later this month or December. And we dropped our last big one in January. So it's been like a whole year to finally drop our next one. But I'm a perfectionist, and like to me, it's like, if we're gonna do it right, we had to do it right? Because I want to build that legacy that we're a top premier apparel company as well. And I think that's what 100 Thieves are doing really well, as well as focusing on their esports. Yes, they haven't had as many championships yet as like Envy and stuff, but they've been trying. They've been investing a good amount of money. And just like, it's not easy to win championships, right? So I think having a good balance of content, championships, and apparel, it's like the sweet sauce, I guess. And I think if you're exceeding your expectations in all three of those categories, I think that's going to lead to that greatness category. I mean, look at Optic, bro. Like it's a world renowned brand, in my opinion. Like, everybody knows about Optic for the most part, that I know. Anybody who's picked up a controller, really, because of the content that they're pushing out during their heydays and stuff. And I think that's a big part. And right now, as I've been kind of dealing with sponsorships and stuff for Team WaR, I highly recommend to every single person, get your Twitter impressions up, get all that stuff up. And the only way you're going to do that is providing meaningful content. Like meaningful content, like not just a post saying like, what's your favorite color, red or blue? Like, no, like go out and do some content, do vlogging, do some funny series, get to know your players series. I don't know, like, get out there and do content, because if you really want sponsorships from like the top brands, which we've been fortunate with Turtle Beach, they really value what we're doing and our, like, our mentality about how we maneuver content, because I mimic those of like Hector Rodriguez and Nate Shot and stuff like that, because in the end, they've said it to us, like, content is everything, content is key, and it is. So if you're an esports org, please keep pushing out content. Triumph, good shit. You guys are doing this podcast. Salute you guys. Like, keep doing this. Like, this is going to go a long, long way for you guys. And it's super exciting because, for example, the Pioneers just got DoorDash as a sponsor. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's like, there's people who might be envious of them and be like, oh, they don't deserve it or whatever. It's like, dude, no, that's awesome. That opens the doors for us. Now, like, to me, it's like, if, Pioneers got DoorDash, hey, they have Uber Eats, they have Postmates as competitors. Like, we could hit them up, be like, hey, your competitors are entering a market, of gamers who are hungry all the time. Look what they're doing. Look what this org is doing for them. We could do that too. So it's just like, you got to see opportunities and be opportunistic, because, like, in the end, we're all growing together. So, content.
Content's important. No, it's okay, dude. Content's important. Look, I think everything could be tied up in a pretty package by just reiterating what we said. It's like, greatness is subjective. Greatness can be defined in many different ways. And so I think in our industry, in esports specifically, even in CODs specifically, the sky is still the limit in terms of what we can do. I don't think that people have really figured out the formula. I think, you bring up people like Hector and Nate Shot, who have sort of created this lane that everyone's following now. But I still think that there's a lot of room to grow from that. Like, I still think there are things like, for instance, somebody getting DoorDash as a sponsor. I think I never even thought about DoorDash as a potential business partner.
It makes so much sense.
But it makes a lot of sense, and it's one small piece.
So much money on Postmates. Holy hell, bro! Especially COVID.
100%, yeah. And it's such a small thing to think about, but it's just like those little things that over time we're going to discover, and people that are smarter than me maybe will figure it out and like figure out this new path and this new lane to grow their companies and to do meaningful work and to become great, maybe in a way that's a little bit different from what we already kind of consider greatness.
It's about building a good team behind you guys, and like, I don't know how many people are behind the scenes working on Triumph, but I'm sure it's a good about number. We have a pretty small number of staff, but they're freaking mighty. And like I said, I care about quality over quantity. And from management to our designers to our editors, it's like top of the line, in my opinion. And so I think having a good team that believes in your vision, like, that's what's going to open the doors. And like you said, create those, we can all follow this lane, but like you said, we got to be different somehow, right? So you kind of got to drift a little bit left and right, not too far.
Gotta make your own path, brother.
You gotta make your own little path, you know, and you'll find it. You'll see what ends up hitting, and then it's like just keep hitting on that. So keep pushing that forward. So
yeah, 100%. And look, I mean, I'll be transparent with you. Like, one of the reasons for me doing this show and for Triumph running this podcast is to bring together people like you, for instance, and me, and like talk about our different perspectives on what our job is with our teams or with our companies and what we do. And for this particular episode, obviously you and I do very similar work. Like, we have, you know, top level competitive teams. So I think it's really interesting to talk to you about like your perspective on, you know, what your role is in the esports space with your team, and what your outlook is for the future. Because one thing I really want to lean into actually in this conversation, and we haven't gotten there yet, but I really do want to touch on it with you because I think it's really important, man, is the new structure with CDL. Obviously, WaR, you guys have been around for 3 years, so you were around previously to the franchise system. Triumph was not. However, Triumph, you know, we worked in Overwatch. I actually worked in Overwatch for 3 years before coming to COD. And they have they have the same system under Activision, where they have the main league, and then they have the challengers / contenders underneath, right? So I've become very familiar with this new system, whereas I think a lot of people in COD have no clue what the future is going to look like with this like separation between tier 1 and tier 2.
Right.
And so I'm curious, like, how do you view this new system, meaning the franchising of the top league teams and like everyone else kind of being down in this pit of challengers? Like, how do you view it? Do you think it's a good thing? Where do you think it should go?
Like you said, it's a good point, because like there's two sides of what we've seen in the past and what we're seeing now. In the past, we had a team that went to champs and played against the greats, you know, the likes of 100 Thieves, Optic, and, you know, we ended up playing against E6, Enigma 6, and we played against Splice, we played against EE United, and all these top teams. We played against Genji, and like that opportunity to be able to compete with those guys, and we actually eliminated some of those people I called out. It did wonders for our brand. For brand awareness, like to impressions, to like trending, like all that stuff. Like, it was a phenomenal feeling, and it was a big push for our growth, being part of that. And like one of the videos that we did, it's Mike Horner said, it's like almost, it's not so much like when you get to that point where you're part of champs, for like the champs, like it doesn't even feel like it's the focus, not even like winning the whole thing, but it's just like about feeling that you're part of that brotherhood, you know, you're part of that circle. It's like that feeling does it, you know, and it did, and I miss it. I miss that, and I think the players miss that. I think the players miss the opportunity to compete against the best of the best, because, you know, there's people like in our teams that are very much capable of being part of that group and not getting 3-0'd or anything like that, like actually like doing damage. I think Team WaR last year could have
probably been a top 6 team.
Yeah, I think they could have done something in the time. I'm not going to say we would have won, but I would have said like we would have shook some heads. And so I do miss that opportunity, but I also understand we're moving more to a traditional sport where there is, in almost every other sport like baseball, basketball, there is a separation. There's the franchises, and then there's the AAAs, or in our case, challengers. And so I understand where they're going, and I understand that in the end, you know, these guys are paying big bucks at the top franchise. They're paying $25 million to get in. And, you know, in the end, that money is going towards the growth of the esport as entirety. So, you know, I got to respect that. And I respect that they're in there to benefit the esport as general, which is going to trickle down to us challenger teams. And I believe in them. You know, I don't want to be a pessimist and like think like, oh, this is not gonna work. Like, no, like this is what we got. Let's run with it. Let's make the best of it. And you know, it's gonna work out, I think, in the end. But yeah, I do miss some aspects, especially about like being able to play against like champs at the very end. I do miss that. But you know, there's some very smart people behind the scenes, and so I think is this in the end is going to work out. I do, like I said, there's definitely aspects I miss, but I think in the end, big picture, I think it's for the best.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of positive and negatives. So, I mean, I can definitely see your perspective, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And it's fascinating to me because it is so different from what it used to be. And our team, like Triumph, like COD, like literally everyone on the team except for Eli has been in champs like 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about like General at the E6, like you mentioned. You're talking like Fellow and Royalty have been on.
How did you make that happen? Like, can you tell me a little bit about what happened with that?
Yeah, well, look, man, it's
a huge team. Can you tell us who the team is again, and then?
Yeah, so Triumph Call of Duty's team, Triumph's Call of Duty team as of now for this year is Fellow, Royalty, Standy, and General. General obviously is also playing on Optic. He's Optic's fifth, I guess, their substitute player. And last season he sat out of challengers. He didn't compete on an academy or on an affiliate team all year, and he just was basically benched. And he actually didn't get an opportunity to play all year. So even though he has this reputation of being a top tier player, and so much so that he got on to
chance the year before, top 4.
He was a top 4 team type of guy, and he got signed by until 100 Thieves came back, I guess you would say he got signed by the biggest
Huntsman.
He got signed by Huntsman, the biggest most popular team he could have got signed.
It's awesome though, like seeing how much content he's pushing out and stuff with them, like it's brilliant.
And so so for him, like I think I talked about this a little bit before he was announced. I had a podcast, actually, it was episode 2 of the show with Doug Sensor Martin, right? I alluded to you earlier. I brought something up.
Yeah.
And I think Sensor and a lot of other ex-pros or like people that have proven themselves in the past, like we're in a similar situation last year with CDL, and it will be in the situation this year where they're sitting on the bench not getting any play time for one reason or another, And Jordan General, he said that he didn't want to sit out anymore. So he's fine with being on the bench because obviously the team that he's on is a legendary team. I mean, how are you going to – he's not going to sub in for Formal. Like he's not going to take Formal's spot. Formal's a goat. He's going to keep playing until he doesn't want to play anymore. So he said, okay, well, I don't want to just sit on the bench. So I want to compete. And so he reached out to us because we were the top team in NA. It was kind of obviously the first choice for him. Yeah. And actually, his personality and his leadership fits really well into the core that we had. So, I just had to talk to Hector and talk to Jamie. Jamie, who's for those of you who don't know, is the GM. I think everybody knows who Hex is, but people don't know Jamie is the general manager for NRG. So he's in charge of people's contracts and stuff. And we work.
So how is that process?
It's easy. I mean, it's technically Jordan is on loan with our team. So basically, as a substitute for the for Optic Chicago, if he has to play on any given week, like if somebody's sick on their team or something's messed up and he's got to sub in, he just can't compete in the same week as us. So there's like this, if he has to play in the league, then we're kind of screwed. We got to get a sub for him. But while he's on the bench, he's allowed to practice with us, scrim with us, and play with us in challengers. No holds barred. So he's still on contract with them. So he's still on contract. So he's getting paid by them, not you.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. So you're paying for the 3 other players.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think
but they have rights to his content and stuff like that, I imagine. Can you repost stuff though? Like say he gets a clip or something. Can you make that,
we have like a specific agreement with him, and the reason I bring that up is because I think every CDL team can make loan agreements according to their own rules, like branding and stuff like that. But obviously Optic cares a lot about their brand. So like we do have to walk a line of not like trying to use Jordan in too much branded or sponsored content from Triumph, which is fine. Like I don't mind, he's a chill guy. He's easy to get along with. And the guys at Optic are easy to get along with too. So I think we're just kind of like, this is the first year that they're doing it. This is the first year we're having a sub on our team. So we're just seeing how it goes. And I think it's going to be smooth.
Gotcha. Yeah, I hope that, and I think they would. I think honestly somebody like Hector would respect it. Kind of implementing Jordan into some content for sure, like team trivias or something like that, where he's like, I think that builds chemistry too. And it could be fun, So I think as long as I don't think you're, overdoing it, I think it'd be fine. So you talked to Hex yourself?
I've talked to Hex twice. Yeah.
How did that?
He has to handle a lot of stuff. Well, look, I'm not trying to name drop Hector like I'm his friend or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think him and I come from very similar backgrounds. So we've talked a couple times. And then obviously I think the only reason he talked to us about Jordan because he kind of has to. It's his job to do so. But
okay,
he's a busy guy, dude. The guy's he's working like 18-hour days, dude. Nobody knows what he's doing. He's just busy.
But yeah, I'm sure he was like down to earth guy and stuff. I've never talked to him like that and stuff. So I was curious.
I've never met him or anything, just talked to him online.
That's cool though, man. That's awesome.
Like he's a goat. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people in our industry and in the COD community especially that are like that just, they've created these huge brands and these huge successful franchises and dynasties, and you just have to learn what you can from them. But they're all just people, dude.
Yeah, no, and that's the end. And they're people just like us. But yeah, I mean, I would still have like a little fanboy moment probably. I would like try not to let him see it, of course, but like, yeah, I'll be like, oh my God, I just talked to him.
You got to be real cool around him, dude. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, it's an interesting structure with challenges. Like they're letting you have multiple subs on your team, like CDL subs. Like we obviously have one sub from Optic. We could also have a sub from another team. So now that you're allowed to do that, I think it shakes up challengers a lot. Like leaning back into what we said earlier, like you were saying that this year is going to be much more competitive than it was last year, right? Yeah. I agree with you because for multiple reasons. Obviously, 4v4 teams are smaller, so there's going to be more teams. And then specifically because so many players got kind of knocked out of the league. Yeah. Now we're going to have like a highly competitive challengers.
What the hell is Paris doing?
Dude, I don't know, honestly. Like I heard their supposed roster a couple weeks ago. And I won't say who it is because it's none of my business, but it got leaked. And then now it seems like it's different. Like I think they're changing it because it got leaked.
How are the Twins not like picked up? Like I don't like. I've been seeing tweets from them like going back and forth. Like
there's a lot of players you could say that
one maybe like didn't get picked up. But like man, no. I mean, I'm just saying like the Twins. Yeah. They get top 6, top 4 at champs. Top 4, I think.
Last season they were top 4, right?
Yeah, they got top 4. They got top 4.
You would think all those guys had a safe job.
Yeah, top 4 at champs, and like they lost barely. Like they had
barely
series.
Yeah.
And they don't make like 2 of them potentially not get a spot. Like what? Hello?
I think one thing you're going to find, dude. I know, man. I think one thing, and you could say that again, like the Twins, you could say that about a lot of guys that aren't in the league right now. Like, I would argue that a lot of guys on your team,
top 12 champs,
guys on our team.
We took out Genji, number 2 team. We took out Splice, like a top 10 team.
Yeah.
Nothing. We didn't get shit. Not a sub spot. Nothing.
No emails, no calls. Yeah.
Then we go to this year and we dominate, most dominant team, and still nothing. Crickets. I'm just like, and
what about the Renegades too, man? Like those guys didn't drop a tournament. I mean, you could say that their region was weaker, of course, but like they didn't drop a tournament all year. Where are those guys?
I think there was a rumor about one of them getting a sub spot. I'm not sure.
Sub spot though, you know what I mean? It's like, what more can you do than win like 15 championships in a year? Like I don't know.
I swear, if I don't see like some WaR members in next year's expansion, like
I think the team that you guys had, again, I don't know if you want to leak your team or talk about your team this year and what you guys got coming up, but the team that you guys had that won champs in last season, I mean, those guys are goats too, man. Like I think everybody on that team deserves a shot in the league and in the expansion. And really now the only thing left between them and the league is just going to be another season, like another good season, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
if even like they might get there sooner, maybe with the scouting series, right?
That's true. I mean, we'll see. Like my goal is always as an org owner for the challengers is my goal is to get them to that top premier franchise.
Yeah.
And watch them grow. I've seen it happen. With like Envoy and Ricky and like a bunch of other players, and it's to me it's so exciting because it's just like their dreams are coming true, and which is this is why I'm here. I once had the dream myself of being a pro player, and that never happened. But you know, that's the reason I started. Is like I want to give other kids the opportunity that I wish I had. In their age and their spot. So I'm super excited to see it. And then one day I want to be one of those greats. I want to be one of those 100 Thieves and be in the franchise and stuff. So it's gonna take time. But
it's a beautiful thing, man. It takes time. Like everything, it takes time. I think you and I are both going to be old and gray before we can really look back on our careers and say that we did, something incredible. It's going to take a lot of time, dude.
Yeah, it's exciting though, man. You got to enjoy the process. You gotta
100%.
enjoy the process. So, and
100%.
I cried like a baby, bro.
Yeah, I saw that video, that reaction when you guys won. Yeah.
Oh,
it's so weird, like not having that reaction, not being on the stage. It's so weird.
I mean, I would have been crying in their arms for sure if I had the opportunity, but like it was just like one of those moments that like I saw that it got to a point where I was like, we're gonna win. Like it hit me before we won, right? My family's all like cheering, going crazy. Like it hit me in my heart. I was just like, shit, we're about to be world champions. Yeah. Like, and then like literally when I thought that, like a bunch of flashbacks came, like our first tournament, our second tournament where we got like upset, and I thought about Vegas when we got upset by Oog. Love you, Oog. And all those moments we had those crushing blows where it's just like you're so close, so far. Miami, we came second. The first chance we lost last map. Like all those memories just came, and it's just like all like just weighed down on me, and like all my emotions just came out because it's just like fucking did it. Like that was the thing. I'm sorry for cursing, but
it's okay, dude. We're grown ass men.
But like I don't know if like I just don't know.
It's okay, man.
But it was like one of those like I did it. I finally did it, and then it just all came out. I started crying, and then I couldn't really see anything. Like I was getting hugs and stuff, and then I finally, when my eyes cleared up and I saw like it was my mom coming for a hug, and then like I just grabbed her, and like it was a beautiful moment I'll never forget in my life. Like I'll be talking about this to my grandchildren and stuff. Like
there's many more to come, man.
Yeah,
I
know. Like if we win again next year, I'll probably cry again. So
and the year after, man. There's many more. There's many more. It's a beautiful thing, dude. Like. I wonder, are we going to get an announcement this week or what, dude? With your team?
Not yet.
No? Okay. I saw some of your guys, some Team WaRm members playing, I believe, in North American pickups. So I don't know if that was fake or if you guys are coming to NA to try to challenge us. I mean, you can try.
You want that?
you can make. I don't want to hurt your boys like that, man. They're good guys. I don't want them to come here and
you guys get to Minnesota.
I think if you guys, I mean, you'd end up going back to Europe for sure, like without a doubt.
We're probably going to stay in Europe. Like I said, there's nothing to leak or anything because there's nothing like official. We're taking our time with this because, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, you under promise, over deliver, and so we're still finalizing our budget for 2021. And as you know, it's not cheap to run an esports org. So we're trying to, maximize our budget the best way we can and negotiate and find a middle ground that works for everybody. But our goal is to, retain that same team. Now it's Steve-O, Dave, Josh, and Nasty. He's nasty. Of course. And that's our goal, is to retain that team. And we just have, we have a special relationship with those guys. So hopefully it all works out. I'm guessing you won't see Team WaR officially on the ladders until maybe beginning of next year, January. Okay. That's our goal. And plus, if we're gonna do an announcement, how we rock.
You're gonna go hard, yeah.
What I'm saying? It's not gonna just be like a little montage. We gotta, I got some stuff cooking in my head. I do my best thinking. I don't know if I should be admitting this, but I do my best thinking in the shower. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that.
A lot of people do, though.
For some reason, I haven't met somebody who's had the same thing. I've heard people like, yeah, I can see that, but like I legit have like thought of like drops, like this drop right here, like that shower, like the next drop we did, shower. The ad we're doing for the next big drop, not this one, but the next one, that shower. So like literally like. It's crazy. Like
you should set up your desk in there, dude. Just see what happens.
I just stay in there, like, oh, my relatives are like trying to take shots. Like, nah, bro, I'm working.
I'm too busy, dude. Yeah, like like those grape fingers or whatever,
Oh
yeah, like little prune fingers. I got the best idea though. No, I think staying at EU makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think you guys again, the reason I brought you on is you're in a very similar situation. Team War is in a similar situation as Triumph. Like what I told the guys this year was like, you know, we have to run it back. Like there's no other option, man. Like I don't care about anything else. Like obviously last year Triumph lost a lot of money in COD. Like we lost a lot of money, dude. Like we're spending a lot of money on salaries. You had a 5-man team.
Do you take a price cut?
Yeah, but it's small. Like it's I think a lot lower than most orgs. And yeah, it's not a lot, dude. And we pay high salaries last season, and the reason was because we knew all these guys should be in the league, and we expected expansion. We were talking expansion teams and stuff, and that never happened, right? But I told the guys, like, I don't care about last season. Like, there's no way that we can't come back together because we have to run it back. Like when
come at a lower salary, guys.
You brought up, well, no, nobody, like everyone's gonna be good, man. But like, it was really good that we are able to work with Jordan. You know, that took a lot of pressure off of us because we don't have to pay for his salary, for example. But yeah. even if I was going to lose money this year, like I still want to do it because, you know, you brought up The Last Dance, and I think we can kind of like touch on this is like, do you remember the scene in Last Dance when, you know, they had won like their second championship or whatever, and the Bulls, of course, and MJ was saying that their general manager wanted to like start signing new talent and cutting the old guys, like cutting Pippen and stuff. And he was like, what do you mean? We're winning championships every year. Like you have to let us continue to defend our championship until we can't. And I feel the same way about our teams, right? Like I told the guys on our team probably something a lot like similar to what you told your guys. Like we have to run it back, man. Like
yeah,
we have to.
The third season with Dave, so
and he's going to keep winning.
Takes a lot on your mental state, though. Do you understand? You don't know what to do with Dave, okay?
Right? Maybe I don't know, dude.
Start seeing a therapist.
Is he the one that makes fun of you for golfing?
All of us do. But like, no, I definitely want to run it back. Like I remember, I don't know if you remember, but like we kind of broke up at one point because we could not afford to be flying them across every NA tournament based on the new system they implemented. That was going to cost, you know, just for 3 tournaments, probably $10,000.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
And it's just like the tournaments were only for like $10,000. So it's just like, and I don't even get a price cut. So I was just like, that was just going to be too much for us. That we just couldn't do it. We didn't have the budget for it. We didn't have any sponsors or anything like that. So, you know, I had a talk with them and I told them like, this is, you know, we can't do it. And then they went and shopped around for a bit. And then, it was freaking sad. Like I got really sad. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I remember that night when I made that video. They made a article about it on Deserto, even about our breakup, basically. But that night, I cried, and it was like sad because like I lost them. Like I felt like I lost my kids essentially.
Yeah.
Like that's how it felt like. And like my biggest thing is just like I want to make sure they're taken care of, and like that was like my worry. It's so weird. Like I fucking like talking like if they're my kids, but like
no, I know how you feel,
like
man.
that's what it feels like. And so it was a tough time. And then COVID happened, which I know like for the majority is not, you know, it's not been great on most people and stuff, but it's been a fortunate situation for Team War because we were able to retain them since everything went to online. And then we won championships and our brand did really well. And, you know, so yeah, it's been a crazy ride. And I hope we can run it back with them for sure.
You guys got to run it back, man.
Okay.
You can't not, dude. Like I won't forgive you if you don't. You gotta run that.
You want to pay for their salaries too?
Yeah, sure, whatever it takes. Dude.
We gotta do collabs somehow, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. Maybe we'll get together on some ideas. We should. I mean, you know, returning champs more.
Yeah, no, like I had a guy from Mitchell come down from Thrive to come golf with us and stuff. I kind of wanted to do more like videos and stuff like that. We didn't. We got graphics done and stuff, like we got really sick photos and stuff. But I'm looking forward to doing that more. I know Alan /Holdshift, he golfs stuff too. So we're planning on possibly doing a trip together and stuff. And again, like I just want to shoot content. I miss shooting content. A lot of this off season has been just business stuff.
Yeah.
Which is good stuff too and great and all, but I love doing content, man. Just get me out there in the sun.
Yeah.
Do something stupid. I
don't mind being in the sun, dude, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna golf with you. It's not a personal thing.
What the fuck?
Well, do something else, man.
God, you just shit on my date idea.
I pretty much just like eating. That's pretty much all I do.
You like eating? What's that series that people do with the eating? Mukbang or something?
Oh, mukbang, dude? Is that what you're into? You guys should do a team mukbang.
Is that like where you eat stuff, right?
I think it's like an ASMR with food. Yeah, it's like you're supposed to eat. I don't know. Admittingly, I really don't know what it means.
Me neither. But
it always seems like people eating like sloppy food. So I don't know what it is. It might be inappropriate to talk about. I'm really not sure. I really don't know.
Shit, I don't know.
Maybe don't do that.
Maybe don't do it.
Maybe not.
Do it. If it gets views, fuck it.
Maybe do a little research first.
Yeah, for sure. No, but we should definitely link up. Where are you located, by the way?
I'm in Michigan. We're all kind of spread out. We're looking to get a facility this year. Maybe. I won't talk too much about it. I don't want to.
Triumph HQ.
I don't like to kiss and tell, dude. But
hello.
Maybe when that happens,
Texas?
we can.
That's where I'm going next, bro.
Everybody wants to go to Texas. Everyone wants the Dallas Routers, dude.
Yeah, I love Dallas. Have you been to Dallas?
No, I've never been. I was actually supposed to go to Dallas when I first joined Triumph. We had an Apex team, and there's a major in Dallas. It's supposed to be the first 300K major. I had plane tickets, hotel, everything purchased. It was the week before COVID shut down the entire country.
Oh, damn.
And that was the last land that I almost went to, dude. And I almost went to Dallas. I never got to go.
I went to LA Optic. That was the last one. And before that was London.
Yeah.
Just lit, man. Oh my God, dude. Funny story. Okay. London, Thursday. Yeah, no, Friday. I think it was Friday. I think when did we play? We played Saturday, Sundays, right? Last year?
Yeah.
I don't think we played Fridays. Did we play Fridays? Maybe we played Fridays.
Some of the LANs I think run Fridays, but the online cup were all Saturdays.
The night before, it was like our first night. We went out, we got dinner, team dinner. We went to Mando's. Fucking, I hope I'm saying it right. It was super good, super good. And then we went to a pub, and I ordered rounds, and it's surprisingly super cheap. I got a round for 19 pounds or something. I was like, what the fuck? It was 7 of us. And so I started ordering rounds. My social media manager, who wasn't even there, bought us around. And then next thing you know, dude, I think I had 15 beers and a couple shots. And it was just going. It was awesome. The vibes are flowing, no music needed, just talking to each other. Chris Tun was in front of me. I hope I said his name right. He hates it when I was saying, I think it's Tun, but I was saying Toon at one point.
Chris
God damn. And so yeah, we're just having a great time. And my captain was drinking just as much as me, and this motherfucker had a game the next day. So this guy, I wake up chilling, no hangover, nothing. I was big chilling, and I had to play. I'm just there to be the water boy, right? So I'm good. And then I talked to Steve, and I was like, "Oh, you good?" I was like, "No, I'm not good." My guy played that first day hungover.
At least it was only day one.
And we went undefeated still, of course. But we did play a good team at the end, I think. But by that point, he had sobered up completely. But it was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I had to get him anti-nausea pill and stuff because he was not feeling it. I was I made sure the next night, because I knew it was going to championship day. I was you're going to sleep at 9 p.m. fucker. You're not going out. I went out, but
you gotta be careful, man. When you got lands, dude, you get out of hand for sure.
Yeah, easily.
Well, listen, man, I really appreciate meeting you today and sitting down and talking to you a little bit about COD and talking to you a little bit about WaR. It's really interesting to learn more about you because I had never spoken to you before, so it was very nice to meet you.
Yeah, man.
And, I'm really excited for this year, dude. I'm really, I'll keep an eye out for you guys' team announcements. I know you guys are going to run it back. Do not disappoint me, Kevin. Is there anything before we end the show and wrap up today, man? Is there anything you want to share? You want to shout out socials and stuff like that? Any projects that you want people to keep an eye out for? Anything like that, Kev?
I mean, not much really. I just thank you guys all for the support that you guys giving us in 2020. Like you said, we're looking to run it back and have a great dominant team, a dominant year. More apparel coming out. I know we got kind of slow because of COVID stuff, but we we're dropping this soon, the 3-year anniversary, and then we have our big drop, which I'll say it's going to be called the Dark Side. At times nobody knows that, but it's calling the Dark Side. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm gonna give you guys a little leak right there. You know, I appreciate all the support, and thanks for having me on board. Triumph has been doing great things, and I look forward to hopefully putting you guys on the memes, our championship memes again, and running that back.
100%.
Those are fun. I had to delete the old ones because that song is super copyrighted, and so we got a copyright warning. So unfortunately, we can't play that song, but we'll find a new song. But hope to see you guys succeed as well. I hope when COVID is over, you can link up and go back to regular lands. I know it's not happening this year, but you know. I hope we still have a great year despite just like last. So stay safe, everyone. Wear a mask. If I had my war mask, I would be putting it on right now. But wear a damn mask, man. I'm trying to go outside safe.
Yeah. Words of wisdom from Kevin, dude. Well, listen, man, again, like I said, thank you for coming on today, bro. It was a blast. And make sure to follow Kevin. His socials are below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.